Hello students, this is Manjunath Pujar. Today I am here to give you the idea about another interesting DBMS lab assignment, that is book dealer. As the name itself says, this database focuses on maintaining the data about book dealer. When we look at the tables, we can get to know the basic idea about the kind of the data they used to maintain about the book dealer. So when we look at the table author, as the name itself says, this table maintains the information about author like author ID, name, city and country. Again, when it comes to the publisher, it maintains the information about publisher ID, name, city and country. Again, when it comes to the category table, it maintains the information about category ID and description. That means the kind of categories of textbooks that are available with the book dealer. Then when it comes to the catalog, it maintains catalog, it is nothing but menu. So this table actually maintains the information about the list of textbooks that are available with the book dealer for selling purpose. Again, when it comes to the order details, this table maintains the information about order details. That means for which book order has been placed. So these are the list of tables that are available to maintain the information about book dealer. Our job is to focus on understanding which are the primary keys and which are foreign keys, so that we can get some basic idea about the ER diagram. So as I told you in the video itself, in order to design a database for any context, our first job is to draw the ER diagram, then later we are going to map it to the tables. But in our lab assignment, as the tables are already available, but we are going in the reverse way by looking at the tables, primary key and foreign keys, we are going to draw the ER diagram. But this is not the case in the reality. But anyhow, to get the clear idea about this assignment, we are supposed to draw an ER diagram. So before that, we need to identify primary key and foreign key in these tables. Each table, when we look at each table, every table is having a primary key. Author table is having the primary key, author ID, publisher ID is having the primary key in the publisher table, book ID, category ID and order number. These are all the primary keys. When every table is having the primary key, then we are going to identify these all 5 tables as base tables. Now coming to the part of foreign key, author table and publisher table both will not have any kind of the foreign key. But when it comes to the catalog table, we are having author ID, publisher ID, category ID as a foreign key. In this particular syllabus, for identification of the foreign key, they are using the symbol hash. Hash indicates foreign key, underline indicates primary key. These are the identification they use for primary key and foreign keys. By looking at this, author, publisher, category, these tables are not having any foreign key. But when it comes to the catalog and order details, these two tables will have the foreign key. Catalog is having author ID, publisher ID and category ID. Order details is having book ID as the foreign key. So our next job is, in order to get some idea what kind of the data they used to maintain in these tables, we need to draw an ER diagram. As the tables are already available, primary keys are identified as well as the foreign key. Our job is to draw the ER diagram for this particular case. So when it comes to the ER diagram, so now we can see here author, publisher, category, catalog and order details. These all 5 tables identified in ER diagram as an entity because all tables are having exclusive primary keys in those tables. That's why in ER diagram these all have been identified as a entities. Now every column in the table here it is identified as the attributes. Like author is having author ID, author country, city, author name. Publisher is having publisher ID, publisher name, city, country. Like that, every table is having its own kind of the list of attributes. Now, while identifying the attributes, we need to identify key attributes. Key attributes, the primary key which are there in the tables, here those are going to be identified as the key attribute. Here it is author ID which is underlined, publisher ID it is underlined, book ID it is underlined, category ID it is underlined, here it is order number which is underlined. So that means we have identified entity followed by attributes followed by key attributes. Our next job is to identify the relationship, and in this case, as I told you, this the book dealer, this database maintains the information about the book dealer. When it comes to the book dealer context, okay, so it is basically maintaining the information about the list of textbooks that are available. For every textbook we are having the author information, for every textbook we are having the publisher information, for every textbook we are having the category information. In the same way, when the book dealer interested to sell the book, that time even we are having the information about order details. Okay, so for order, that means for which book they have placed the order. This is the kind of the data they used to maintain. So now here catalog, so when we look at the table, catalog is having book ID, book title, whereas author ID, publisher ID and category ID, these are the foreign keys. That means this catalog table is referring the author ID or related with the author table. Catalog table is related with the publisher table. Catalog table is related with the category table, because here we are having the three foreign keys in this particular table. That indicates it is giving some new information. Which information? Every book is having author details. Every book is having the publisher details. Every book is belonging to some category. Because of that, catalog table is related with the three different entities. See, catalog it is related with the author, catalog is related with the publisher, catalog it is related with the category. That means this catalog table is related with these three. Here author writes in the textbook. So we can give the name for this particular relationship depending upon our understanding. Either we can give it the right sign, or every textbook is having author information. Here we can write it as a has or have. Even that also works fine. But here in this diagram they are saying writes in. That means author writes in a textbook, publisher publishes in a textbook, and every book is having a category. Every book is having the category. That is the meaning of this relationship. Now every book we are having an order. That means when any customer interested to purchase the book, that time he is going to place an order. The information about the order details, order placed details is maintained in the order and catalog. So here we are having the order placed. So now by looking at these all cases, see again when it comes to the order details, we are having the book ID. That means order details and the catalog. These two tables are related because book ID is the foreign key. By looking at the foreign key, we can identify which entities are related with each other. This is simple basic idea. To quickly revise, book dealer, this database maintains the information about the list of textbooks that are available with the book dealer. Every textbook is having author information, publisher information, category information. When the book dealer is interested to sell the books, that time customer he can place the order. That means this database maintains the information about even order details. That means for which book order has been placed. This is the context, and this context they are having the ER diagram like this, and for this context we are having the table structures like this. This is a simple basic idea. After that, now according to this assignment, we need to look into the steps to be followed. Here, as usual, our first job is to create the tables by properly specifying primary key and foreign key. Now we have already identified primary key and foreign key. Our next job is to create the tables. So now let me show you the demonstration of how to create the tables. Now we will see one by one. The first table is about author. Author, let me open that MySQL. So now for this case, our first job is to create a database by the name book dealer. As this context is about book dealer, that's why I'm creating the database by the name book dealer. Our next job is to use this particular book dealer database, book dealer, for creating the new tables. Now we start creating the tables by properly specifying the primary key and foreign key. So let me copy and paste so that we can save the time. The first table is about the author table. So now look at this author table. Author table is having the author ID, author name, author city, author country, and here author ID is having the data type as decimal of size 5 followed by varchar of size 20 for the remaining three attributes. In this table, in this author table, we are having the primary key as this primary key author ID. So this is mandatory engine equal to INNODB for this MySQL so that foreign keys can work properly. So now first table has been created. Now again we will proceed for the next table. Next table is about creating the publisher. Here also the procedure is same. Let me copy and paste. Second table has been created. Again here also publisher ID is the primary key by properly specifying engine equal to INNODB. Then we will proceed with the third table. Third table is about category, because first primary key tables we are supposed to create. So that's why I'm creating the first author table, then publisher table. Now I'm creating the category table. So all three primary tables have been created, and the tables with the foreign key needs to be created at last. That's why catalog table as well as the order details tables are going to be created at the last. So now I'm going to create the table by the name catalog. In the catalog table, let me show you the example. So now you can see the catalog table has been created. So in the catalog table, now we can observe book ID, title, author ID, publisher ID, category ID, year, price. These are the common fields with the respective data type. Now in this table, primary key is the book ID and the three columns are foreign key. That is author ID is the foreign key which is referring the author table. Publisher ID is the foreign key which is referring the publisher table, and category ID is referring the category table. So on delete cascade, I will show you the demonstration in today's class how exactly on delete cascade it works. So again here we have created the table by the name catalog. Now we will move ahead with the last table, that is order details table. Last table is the order details table. So let me create. I will show how the order tables. Copy and paste. Now the last table order details have been created. Now we have successfully created all five tables by properly specifying the primary key and foreign key. Next our job is to insert records into the tables based on the question what they had asked. Before creating any table, so we need to understand, before inserting any records in the table, we need to understand what question they had asked. The question is give the details of the authors who have two or more books in the catalog. That means we need to insert records into the table such that the author should have two or more books in the catalog. And the price of the books should be greater than average price of the books in the catalog. When we look into the question, according to this question, if the data is available in the table, then only we are able to get the output. Otherwise, we are not able to get the output. That's why we need to look into the queries or the questions what they had asked. According to that, we need to insert the records into the table. So our job is to understand this question, then we need to insert the records. Here the question is, give the details of the authors who have two or more books in the catalog. That means we need to insert a records in the catalog such that author should have two or more books information, and the price of the book should be greater than average price of the books in the catalog. According to this question only, I had inserted records into the table. Let me show you how we are going to insert the records into the table. Now we will insert records into the table. First table is author details as usual. So it is having the information exclusively about the author. So author details have been inserted. Next we will go ahead with the second table, that is publisher. I will insert records related to the publisher. Next, I will move ahead with the third table, that is category. So I will insert records into the category table. Now I will move ahead with the next interesting table is the catalog table. Catalog table. I will insert records into the catalog table, and the last table is about order details. So let me insert records into the order details table. Now order details. So here I will insert records into the order details table. Order details. Okay, so now we have successfully inserted records into the each table. Now let me display the content of every table. First table is the author. So just look at the table author. Here we are having author ID information, author name, author city and country. Next we are having the publisher. This table is having the information about publisher details like Relay, PHI, Sapna, Tata McGraw-Hill, Rocks. Next we are having category details. Then we look at the category details. See, we are having operating system is a category, languages, programming language is another category, hardware is the category of textbook, algorithm is the category, internet is the category. Like that we are having the various categories. Then we are having the catalog information. This catalog says the book ID, that is the 123 is the book ID, that is a DSC, that is a mathematics related book. Author is 1000, and here meaning of this is author ID 1000, it is nothing but author Nandagopalan. Okay, Nandagopalan. Book is DSC, that is a mathematics book, author is the Nandagopalan, and the publisher is Relay, and category of this book is the languages. So here the year of publication is 2000 and the price of this textbook is 185. Like that, we are supposed to understand the meaning of every record in the table. We are having the 456, the subject title is the networks, author of this particular textbook is this 4000 here it is nothing but Tenenbaum. And then 44 is the publisher ID, the publisher ID is the TMH, that is the Tata McGraw-Hill. Then the category is the 4, that is related to the algorithms. Then we are having the year of publication is 2002 and 365. Like this we are supposed to enter the records into the table. Here the question they had asked, we need to enter the records into the catalog table such that an author should have two or more books in the catalog so that we can get the information. See here, author ID 1000. Now you can observe here the same author is having the two textbooks, that is DSC and ADA, and author 4000. The meaning of this is 4000 author, there's a Tannenbaum is having the two textbooks, front page and networks. So according to this, the question only I had inserted the records into the table so that we can get the output properly. Next we will proceed again to insert the records into the last table, that is order details table. Look at the last table, order details table. Order detail table is basically maintains the information about order details. This table basically maintains information about for which book order has been placed. Book number 123, that is book number 123 is DSC. For this textbook the order has been placed, the order number is 112. How many textbooks they have placed in order? The total quantity 100 textbook copies. For 100 textbook copies they have placed an order for this textbook 123. Again in the second order the same textbook 123, the same textbook second time the customer has placed an order and its order number is 113, then its quantity is 20. So like that for the remaining textbooks the order has been placed like this 50, 508. So in this way we have created the five tables, followed by we have inserted five tuples or five records into each table. Our next job is to look into the question what they had asked. The question what they had asked is they wanted give the details of the authors who have two or more books in the catalog, and the price of the books average is greater than the average price of the books in the catalog. So according to this, we have written the query. The query that I'm to execute over here is, now look at this particular query. Look at this particular query. Let me execute that query first. Now here we can see the result what we have got is 4000, that is Tenenbaum. In order to understand how this query actually works, we need to know the question. We need to understand, give the details of the author who have two or more books in the catalog. Our expected output should consisting of author details. For which author details? That particular author should have two or more books in the catalog, and the price of the books should be greater than average price of the books in the catalog, and the year of the publication is after 2000. These are the three conditions that are given. To get a clear idea about this, first as usual we are supposed to display the author details. Author details in the sense we need to display author ID and author name. But information related to which author is having two or more books, and whose price is greater than average price, and the year of the publication is after 2000. These three information is basically available. Let me show you the, see, 1000 and 1000, these are the, this is the author having the two textbooks. 4000 and 4000, here this is also having the two textbooks. When we look at the table, these two authors will have the textbooks, two or more books. That means here these two authors are having two textbooks that are available. The first condition is satisfied. But the second question what they had asked is, the price of these textbooks, the price of this textbook should be greater than average price of the textbooks. Here we are having totally four records. 1000, its price is 185. 1000, this having the price of 195. Now again 4000, this is having the price of 500, and 4000 again this is having the price of 365. Now we get to know the price, but we need to know what is an average price of the textbooks that are available in the catalog. So first we need to get the information about that. What is the average price of the textbooks that are available in the catalog? Now I will show you the execution of the query part by part so that you can get a better idea. Now you can see, I will show you average price of the book. Average price of the book, when we execute that, average price of the book, here you can see average price of the textbooks that are available in the catalog are 309. Now again when I look at this particular table, 1000, 4000, 4000, 1000. By looking at these four records, 1000, its price is 185, which is not greater than 309. 4000, yes, it is having the price of 500, so it is greater than this 309. So this is now valid record. Now again 4000, this price is also greater than 309, this is also valid record. So 1000, it is having 195. So for the first case, the author having two or more books in the catalog, for the first case we are having the four records. But when it comes to the second case, only these two records satisfy that condition. That is, price of these two textbooks should be greater than average price of this. Then this satisfies that particular condition. Now, two or more books catalog, that condition is satisfied, and the price of the books is greater than the average price of the book, that is also condition satisfied. And third case is the year of publication should be greater than 2000, that condition is also satisfied with this 4000, that is the Tenenbaum. Then our output should consisting of the information that is Tenenbaum information. That's author ID and this tenant bump. But when we look at this catalog table, here we are having only author ID information, but we do not have author name information. Author name information is present. Author name information is present in the author name information is present in the author table, and remaining all information is available in the catalog. That's why we are referring these two tables to display the information about author name and author ID. That's why we have written the query like this. Let me show you the query. See here, this is the query. Select C dot author ID, A dot author name. Here I am using select C dot author ID, A dot author name from. We are giving an alternative name for this table. Catalog is represented as C, author is represented as A. And here I am using select C dot author ID. Why I am specifying here table name is author ID is present in both tables, that is author table as well as the catalog table. In order to instruct this engine for from which particular table we are referring the author ID, that's why I'm saying select C dot author ID. Here the C is nothing but catalog, A is nothing but author. Instead of completely writing the table name, I'm using C as well as the A alternatively. So now select C dot author ID, A dot author name from catalog C and author A. There's a from, we are referring the two tables, and our next job is when we are referring the two tables, our job is to check whether both tables have the same column name or not. Yes, perfectly. Author table is having author ID and catalog table is having author ID. So both table will have author ID as a common field. That's why our next job is to check whether this column is primary key in one table and foreign key in other table. Obviously that condition is also true. That's why I'm taking the first condition as A dot author ID equal to C dot author ID, and next condition is year of publication should be greater than 2000. Yes, perfectly. And next condition is C dot price, that means the textbook price should be greater than average price of the books. Then that is condition is satisfied. Next, and when it comes to understand whether the author is having two or more books in the catalog or not, for that we are supposed to group the records based on the author ID grouped by C dot author ID comma A dot author name. Here we need to understand when we are working with the group by clause. Here after group by how many columns we had mentioned, the same number of columns should be there in this case. Here see C dot author ID and A dot author name, the same columns are represented after the group by clause. Then having, what is the condition we are going to check? The author ID, that means whether that author is having two or more books or not, that we are checking with the count of C dot author ID greater than or equal to 2. When these all conditions are verified, we are able to get the output as 4010 and bar. So this is the case of first query. Now we will proceed again with the next query. Find the author of the book. Find the author of the book which has the maximum sale. Find the author of the book which has maximum sale. Here let me show you the query of that. Here the query for the fourth one, that is find the author of the book which has the maximum sales. I will show you the first execution of the query and output. Now here you can see that Tony is an output for this particular question. Now how we got the output as a Tony? So to understand this particular case, first we need to check the two tables information. Select star from order details. Select star from order details. Then next we should check with catalog table. Okay, here we are having the two tables information. In order to understand which author's textbook is having maximum sales, that information we are able to get it through order details. Now you can see order details, which basically maintains the information about which textbook is having the maximum sales information. Say textbook 123, it has been placed order as 100 quantity. Again same textbook, second time the order has been placed with the 20 quantity. Now we are having 213, it is having the quantity as 50, 789 it's having the quantity as 500, and 879 is having the quantity as 8. So when we look at this, we need to understand which textbook is having maximum sale. When we look at this 1, 2, 3, initially it is 100. Again, same the textbook has been ordered with the 20. So we need to add these two. We need to take the sum of this. That means textbook with ID 1, 2, 3. It has the sales of 120 because the same textbook two times order has been placed with the quantity 120. That's why we are supposed to take the sum of these two. Then we get to know the textbook 123 is having the sales up to 120, 213 is having the 50, 789 is having the 500, and 879 is having the 8. By looking at these all cases, which textbook is having the maximum sales? Textbook with the ID 789 is having the maximum sales because 500 is the maximum sales, second one is the 120, third one is the 50, and fourth one is the 8. Now we get to know which textbook is having the maximum sales. Our job is what? We need to identify who is the author of this particular textbook. Now by taking this information 789, we need to come to the table catalog. In the catalog table, we are supposed to identify the which textbook it is and which is the author. 789, its author is 2000. So now we get to know who is the author of this particular textbook. But in this table, we are not getting what? Author information. Author information is there in which table again? Author information is there in author table. Again, by taking this information 2000, we are coming to which table? This table. So in this table, we get to know Tony is the answer. That's why when we execute the query, we get the output as Tony. Just now I have shown the output of that query. Again, let me show you that once again. We got the output as Tony. So when you execute this, the Tony is the answer. The question is how this query works. So as we are referring the three different tables information, so I will show you the part by part queries output so that you can get to know. So I will show you the first one. First we need to understand the sum of I will show you this part by part query execution so that you can get some basic idea. Okay, so when you execute this part of the query, so now you get the information about here. First I will display orders tables, select star from order details. So here you can see 123 when it is grouped by this book ID. So we will take the sum of this. That's why we are getting the 120. Then we are having 50. Then we are having 500, and then we are having the 8. According to that, so we got the output sum of quantity. Why we are supposed to take this? Because the same book it is having the different orders. So that's why we need to take the sum of this. So after taking the sum of each, then we get to know this. Book ID 123 is having the 120 sales, second one is the 50, and third one is the 500, then we are having the 8. But this query is giving the information about sum of all. But here our job is to take which textbook is having the maximum sales. So this is the having the maximum sales. So we need to take only this value. In order to take only this value, again we are making some changes. What changes I have to do? Let me show you. So that my requirement is only to get to 500, not all records information. That's why I will extend that query a little bit so that I will get only 500 information, not all information. See here, so let me show you. See, out of this query, I just want this information 500, not 120, 50 or 8. That's why, so the same query extended order by sum of quantity, then So I am arranging the records in the descending order. Here limit 1 is it is displaying only the 500 information. So just modification, what modification, if I remove this, it will display the records in descending order, but actually I want only 500 information. That's why I'm using the limit query. So limit 1, that means I'm getting only 500 information. This is what a required information for my query. That's why this inner query has been written. And for this inner query, it will give the output as 500. This entire inner query is replaced with 5. Then remaining part of the query, again part by part we are supposed to execute so that we can get the output. In order to understand any query, we need to take the part by part execution so that we get some basic idea, about every query. So now again that has been extended. Select book ID from order details group by book ID having sum of quantity. So this part of the query is actually having, it is counting the all sum of quantity whose quantity matches with this, whose quantity matches. Here we got the output as 500. Sum of quantity, if it is equal to 500, then it is giving the information about book ID of that 500. So book ID of that 500, then after that we are taking the author ID information, then that is we are getting the output as 2000. So in the same way this part is extended to up to get the author name. Then we'll go with last part of the query, that is last part of the query. Something has been missed. Finally execute the entire query so that we can get the output. Okay, so last part is, so here we got the author ID, then we extend it to the author name, and ultimately we got the output as Tony. And the last query is about, that is just it, that's last query is very simple. Demonstrate how you increase the price of the textbook by 10%. Then we simply, that query is simply updating of information. Last query is very simple, that is about demonstrate how you increase the price of the books published by specific publisher with a 10%. That for that query, so let me show you. Select star from catalog. Here initially every textbook is having the price of 185 500. Here we need to increase or we need to update the price of a textbook of a particular publisher. Here I am taking the publisher, that is the 33, publisher 33, 1 and 5th one, and we need to check the price of the textbook. Initially it is 185, 195. Here now we are having its price has been increased by 10%, that's 204 and 215. Here we are having the formula for 10% hike, that is normally this expression is price equal to price plus, because we are taking 10% of its price. Okay, 10% of the price, in the sense we need to check price equal to price plus price into 10 by 100. So when we get the expression price equal to price plus price into 0.10, then we are taking the price as a common. Let me show you in the text editor only how this expression is going to be. Expression for the price is price, we need to update the price update the price. We need to update the price. Price equal to price, original price. For this we need to update 10%. Price 10% of what? Original price. So into 10 divided by 100. So 10 divided by 100 is nothing but price equal to price plus price plus price into price into, when we divide that value we are having 0.10. So as these two, when it comes to the expression, we are taking the price as the common. Price equal to price is the common value, so 1 plus 0.10 0.10. So that's why we are having expression as price equal to price into 1.10. This is an expression for that query which will update the price of the textbook by 10%. So this is all about all 5 queries execution, creation of the tables, entering at least 5 records and remaining all 3 queries. So with this explanation, if you got any the doubts, any queries, you can contact me. Okay, so now again the last part of this, that is on delete cascade, which I have not shown in the previous class. In order to better understand how the on delete cascade works is, here we are having the base tables. First let me show you. Select star from author, then select catalog. So here we are having the two tables, author and catalog. To better understand the on delete cascade, the meaning of that on delete cascade is when parent tables records have been deleted, say for example 1000, when the 1000 this record has been deleted from the author table, and corresponding records will be deleted from the child table. See here we are having catalog, initially the 5 records are there, and author is having initially 5 records. Now I will try to delete the record from author, where author id equals to 1000. Now I'm just deleting the record from author table, I'm not deleting record from catalog table. So now we can see here the records have been deleted from what? The author table. But when we try to see, even those records also deleted from this catalog table, corresponding records of this author id 1000 is also deleted in the catalog table. There is no need to explicitly delete the records from the child table. This is what the main importance of on delete cascade. That means when parent table records have been deleted, then respective child records are also going to be deleted with the help of on delete cascade. That is what the use of on delete cascade. So if you have any queries, you can contact me. So with this I conclude this particular session.